FSD version 12 is finally here. It is going out to non-employees, and one Tesla owner, after using FSD beta version 12, said, definitely feels way more natural. Less robotic, stopping feels better, tried a few places it always messes up, and it nailed all of them, just some acceleration presses. So it's pretty big news. I don't have it on my vehicle yet, but we could see it on everyone's vehicles pretty soon. Omo, of course, has access to FSD version 12 now, and well, pretty much every single drive he does looks pretty good, so this is really no exception, but he did say it's better overall. He even described it as Waymo-like, you know, the system with LiDAR and detailed maps. However, FSD 12 is still beta, so the beta ward is not removed. As you can see right here, it says FSD beta. Some articles from Electrek are okay, some are fairly good. This one, though, is Tesla finally releases FSD v12, its last hope for full self-driving. Although, on X, he did admit maybe I should have written my last hope, but come on. So he's not really apologizing, if anything. He's even more upset now. One thing that I usually like about Electrek is that the headlines are pretty fair often. Not always, of course, but often. And the article generally is fairly neutral, but then when it comes for the opinion piece, there is an opinion. But in this case, the opinion piece made it to the headline, which, you know, if you want to be an opinion journalist, totally fine. But to present it as fact, I think is not really okay. If you want to present yourself as a journalist who just reports facts primarily. As for FSD v12 being the last hope, there's going to be FSD 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Even if FSD is solved, there are going to be new versions. Tesla can add a lot of compute power to its vehicles. Tesla can collect so much more good data and train the neural nets on new, better data, more data. His whole argument is that there's nothing else really that Tesla can do in a major way to improve FSD because now it's gonna use end-to-end. But that would be like saying, oh, ChatGPT 1 will never pass any professional exams, for example, the bar exam or any of the medical exams, while ChatGPT 4 can pass most of them. Let me be very clear though. I do find Fred's reporting to be valuable, and I do respect his opinions, although he is sometimes a bit negative, and I disagree with many of his opinions, but I think he's a valuable reporter overall, and my hope is that he will reflect on this, and next time he will do a better job. Being really honest here, how many reporters would have admitted, yeah, maybe I should have written it differently? Almost none today. So I think Fred is at least thinking about how can I improve and how can I do better the next time. Maybe he's not going to correct this one, but maybe next time is going to be a little bit better. Gary Black gave his take until Tesla FSD v12 beta is level 4, drives itself without intervention 99.9% of the time, and Tesla assumes legal liability for accident or injury. It's difficult to see FSD v12, even once it loses beta label, as a catalyst. I think Gary is not really wrong here. I mean, it would be a bit of a catalyst maybe because the earnings would go up because people would just keep seeing these full self-driving videos from everyone. And let's say there would be videos 10 hours with no interventions. And it wouldn't be just, oh, that happened once. There would be many videos like that. Then I think many people would actually start buying FSD just for themselves, which would increase earnings, which would then naturally boost Tesla's stock price. So I think Gary is mostly right here, but not fully. Many investors certainly at this point are quite skeptical about full self-driving. James also says that it is a bit too early to get bullish on this because previous versions have worked well in Omar's area, but so far it's fairly promising. In a few days, a few weeks certainly, we will know how good this version actually is. I expect to be the last person to get this version because every time I'm basically the last person. By the way, if you saw these leaked FSD 12 videos from earlier, the new version is slightly updated, so maybe it's better than these previously leaked videos. But if it's pretty much the same as it was in these leaked videos, then yeah, I'm not having my hopes high for this particular version yet. However, Omar posted something that's possibly quite impressive. Now, FSD beta sees a person right here. And at a first glance, I cannot see any people. It's supposed to be somewhere here. There's something or someone here, I guess, although I'm not entirely sure. I guess that's the person. Shoes and clothes and the head here. Here's another screenshot. I think, yeah, that's the person that FSD beta sees. FSD beta tester Chuck Cook says, please slow down the FSD beta version 12 enthusiasm. It will be great to see it come to fruition. It will be an evolution from V11. I don't have it yet, but I can predict where it will be. Better, maybe smoother, but don't project autonomy on this build yet. The earnings call is this week, and we know that Tesla began purchasing cathode coils from second-tier Chinese supplier. James hopes it's just an interim step before they figure out how to mass-produce dry-coated cathodes. 4680 batteries are very important. 4680s are required to ramp Cybertruck production and required to increase our array qualifying Model Y production from Austin. 4680s are essential to reducing auto cost of goods sold due to the IRA battery tax credit of $45 per kilowatt hour, which is important. 4680 ramp and progress is the single most important subject to be addressed on this week's call, says James. I certainly do not disagree, but like he pointed out, volume projections for 2024 might be more important to Wall Street on the call, because a substantially large projection for this year would also imply the 4680 batteries are probably going to be fine. So volume guidance, I think, is more important. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas has cut his Tesla stock price target down from $380 to $345. Our thesis on Tesla is that it is both an auto stock plus an energy AI robotics company. Looking ahead, are we approaching maximum market negativity on EVs? We believe the trough may happen towards the latter part of 2024. Now, Gary Black points out a weird thing with Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas price target, which is the second highest on the street among 50 analysts who cover Tesla stock, because his earnings estimates for 2024 are the lowest on the street right now. The average is $3.82, but his is below $2. So Adam is really pessimistic here, because to get to $2, Gary would have to cut 2024 forecast for deliveries to 1.8 million vehicles, so no change year over year, and auto gross margins would stand at just 10%. The Morgan Stanley sales team will have a hard time with this call. How does your Tesla stock analyst have the lowest 2024 earnings estimate, but the second highest price target on the street? Probably why the stock isn't down. Last point, Tesla internal relations assured me this morning that we do not speak with analysts during the quiet period between now and the earnings. So any insight Jonas has on Tesla's 2024 outlook, he got on his own. What's interesting about Adam Jonas is that he's projecting Tesla doing really well in the future because of Dojo. So that's looking forward. But the auto business, he's not really looking forward, says Gary. He's basically just putting an auto multiple on the EV business rather than reflecting on 30% volume growth. We have heard about Tesla entering Chile earlier, and now it is official. Tesla is officially launching in Chile on January 31st with the opening of their first store in the country. So that will help Tesla slightly, just by a little bit with deliveries. It's not going to be a lot of deliveries, but it will help a little bit. Tesla Korea going forward will import all of its vehicles from Giga Shanghai. Previously, it was mostly just Fremont in California that supplied South Korea. That started changing last year, but now it will completely change. And logistically, of course, this makes so much sense because the US is so far away from South Korea and China is so close to South Korea. So either margins will go up or prices can come down. This is the Washington, D.C. Auto Show, and the Cybertruck is the only vehicle here with so many people around it. There's also a 25-second limit to sit inside the vehicle. You can see people are lining up to go inside. And yeah, this is pretty good. People are incredibly interested in the Cybertruck. This is Tesla's total market share of total sales, including ICE vehicles. You can see that there are a few countries where Tesla's market share basically doubled in one single year. That's crazy. Denmark is just, what? It's now at 12.9%, and in 2022 it was under 2%, maybe? That's a crazy change. The US is at 4.2%. China, interestingly, is at 2.3%, which is higher than Germany. And remember that Tesla has a factory in Germany. And eventually, Tesla will end up in most countries like it is already in Denmark and Norway, close to 20% market share. James has just shared his 2024 deliveries and financial forecast. For his base case, he's projecting 2.1 million deliveries and $3.75 in earnings. His bear case is the same in terms of deliveries, but EPS is significantly lower. And bull case adds a few more deliveries with increased earnings, standing at $5 per share roughly, but he's only giving it a 10% chance that Tesla will deliver 2.2 million vehicles. For reference, Tesla will probably close with roughly $2.75 in earnings per share for 2023. Tonight, we should get delivery numbers from China, and Gary expects the number to be over 8,700. We did have that possibly bullish photo, but I'm not sure how bullish that actually was, with lots of people waiting for their Tesla vehicles to be delivered. I mean, every single week Tesla does deliver quite a few vehicles. So if you just get a few hundred people in one room, you can make it look like it's a big deal, but the number could still be the same. So we'll find out tonight if the number is actually going to be great. Now that Adam Jonas has cut his Tesla stock price target, Dan Ives is actually the biggest Tesla stock bull on Wall Street if you exclude Cathie Wood. This is hilarious. My Mercedes also gave me pretty much the exact same message. This Toyota tried to update itself over the air, and then it said, software could not be updated. Please contact your dealer. Yes, I actually had to go to a dealer to update software on my Mercedes. Oh, and here's what can happen if you update your BMW over the air. It says, I installed an over-the-air software update last night, which failed multiple times. Called BMW this morning and got a master technician on the phone. They tried sending another update. That failed. They tried putting it in tow mode. Also failed. So they sent me a tow truck. Took 2 hours to get it out of the garage and onto the truck. They wouldn't give me a loaner car because they are all booked up 2 to 3 weeks in advance, and Santa Monica BMW doesn't give rental cars for some reason. Europe and the US say that Chinese EV deployment is running wild and unchecked and on the verge of overwhelming the global market with EVs the rest of the world cannot compete with. But now China has said it will rein in some of its huge EV expansion in response to criticism of unfair industrial policies. The Financial Times reports that the Beijing government will control blind construction of new EV projects happening within the country by taking forceful measures. But what that means is anyone's guess. There are also some disorderly competition behaviors, the Vice Minister of Industry and Information Technology said. Personally, though, I don't think that China is really going to do anything. I mean, why would they do that? Unless they absolutely have to, I don't think they are going to do anything significant. You're winning. Why would you decide to start losing? Now, if other countries want to retaliate and China wants to show some intentions of trying to compete a bit more fairly, okay, then I get it. But yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. James expects that Tesla on the earnings call will continue to guide for 50% year-over-year growth in the long term, but specifically for 2024, he thinks that Tesla will say we expect to produce less than 2.1 million cars for the year. I think this actually makes sense to me. The most important thing about FSD v12 is not how well version 12.1.2 dries. It's about how fast it improves from 12.1 to 12.2 to 12.3, etc. Jason agrees. Yes, I wonder if all the local maximums we have seen in the past with previous FSD versions were due to the 300,000 lines of software 1.0 handwritten C++ code. With that out of the way in FSD 12, I think we may see a higher rate of improvement with each minor release iteration. We'll see. I think that's highly likely. One of my friends is excited to buy an electric Porsche SUV, so he'll be excited about this one. It's officially debuting on January 25th, so this Thursday. This is a bit insane, and this is great for X, which is also great for Tesla stock investors because X might be making more money soon, with many creators flocking to X because Mr. Beast, just from ad revenue, from that one video that he uploaded on X, he made $263,000. No, not from a sponsor, just from the ad revenue. That's crazy. And like and subscribe if you haven't yet. My name is Matt Posius, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.